Oh, honey, I can't have you a minute.
Hello, and welcome to Be Here Now, the Peaceful Empowerment Works show, where presence invites perspective and allows peace. Today's topic, transforming fear into courage. We are coming to you live on the new streamingnetwork.com, WGSN-DB, Going Solo Radio, and we switched this up. It felt like it was a lot longer in the past, so let me run that again. Take two.
Okay. No guilt or anything this time for a take two, okay?
Hello and welcome to Be Here Now, the Peaceful Empowerment Works show, where presence invites perspective and allows peace. We are live on the new streamingnetwork.com, TV, podcast, and WGSN-DB Going Solo Network Radio. Our topic today is transforming fear into peace. If you have enjoyed our content from the past, please be sure to comment, share, and subscribe. All jumbled up like that. I am still your co-host, Judy Forder, and I am here with my co-host and Miss
Janice Leonard. Hey, hi everybody. I'm so glad we're so glad to have you here. Hey, I got a question. Is it is it transferring fear into peace or transferring fear into courage?
Sorry about that. See? Transforming fear into courage.
Oh, that's funny. I couldn't let it slide. Sorry. I was thinking Silverio, our producer, is probably watching this and saying, "Uh-oh, I put the wrong things on." Yeah, no, okay.
No, Silverio.
Anyways,
it's one of them days.
Every week, Judy and I sit here and we try to share our stories, our journeys, anything that can help lift up the energy. We do this because we love to, and we want to make a difference in our lives and in everybody else's lives. We do this with unconditional acceptance and love. It's hard to say that. We really mean it. That's right. And you need to accept us with unconditional acceptance and imperfection.
We ask, please, show us grace.
That's the deal. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. If you're able to, donations would be appreciated, help our operation expenses. You can go to our website, which is www.peacefulempowermentworks.org. There's a donate button on the top of the page and the bottom of the page. And click on it, and you get a tax-deductible donation. And what was I going to say? Oh, there's also, you can look. We have a tab that has the show on it. So if you ever want to just look and see past shows or what's going on, go to the same website and go to the show page. And you will have all of our history way back to way before I was a co-host.
It was back in the yellow days because all the thumbnails are yellow.
That's right. The yellow days. Oh, yeah.
Janice joined us with the aqua days.
As opposed to agua. Yeah.
All right, Janice, how about you bring us in?
I'd love to. I made things shake on my desk this time. It was like, did you hear that?
No, I couldn't hear that. I could just hear the singing bowl. That was lovely.
Oh, that's nice.
All right. It makes me laugh because I'm sitting here thinking between the beginning of last week's show and now this week's, you and I should probably do a ring in before we start live.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And I needed it today. I tried a few other tools before we went on, but I still need to be grounded a little better.
Exactly. All right. In our grounded state, Janice, what is our good news, our feel-good news for the week?
Oh, this is a good one. Well, you're all good, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're called the good news.
Mm-hmm.
This one I got on Facebook, and it's called Magical Mendy. That's what the owner is. And Mendy is actually the name of this boy who's in the video, and he's part of. It looks to me like this is some kind of an adventure camp, and he has a disability. He is unable to walk. He's wheelchair bound, and what they tried to do to involve him into one of there are things they did. So over to you, Silverio.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a moment in history about to happen. First time in Camp Kookaburra. Boys, listen up. A boy in our class suggested, why can't Mendy feel the fall like everyone else? So I said to him, because Mendy doesn't really know to pull this string when he's on top. So he said, why can't we get a longer string? And then we can pull it. You're Mendy. So I said, Josh, don't say no. We get a longer string. And Josh right away ran together with Tina. She said, for sure. The string will be pulled by us. You're going to fall, man. You ready? Let's do it.
Go Mendy! Go Mendy!
Oh, that's like we're ready. You're actually gonna make the biggest noise, okay? Oh my goodness.
We're good.
I think we're good.
Ready? Say 1,
2,
3. Have fun.
Come on, Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
He's smiling.
Oh. I have a thing, a soft spot for anyone who's less abled or differently abled. I think that's the right word. And accommodations, and being able to give them access to the same opportunities and joys, and just being able to feel that adventure ride, being dropped on the rope, string, whatever. And there he is. I know I've got right now, as I'm getting older, I'm getting a vision disability. And certainly when I've been injured, you're more aware of any physical disabilities, or trying to walk through a store that doesn't have the 4 feet aisles. And it's so important. And you look at this child who, has the opportunity to go to this camp, is there. And another child is the one who did it, and the kids are all into it and yelling, and I love that. And so we got to drop from the rubber, whatever that is, the rope. I don't know.
It's one of those an adventure camp where they pull you up and then you're in a harness and they drop you and let you swing. And that's what got me, Janice, is when it's the kid that came up with the idea.
Yeah.
To have Mandy. And there is a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Things can be worked out. And you know what? Our kids often think of things that we don't think of, because we have built up so many limitations in our own mind that it really limits sometimes what we could tap into creatively. Our children are just, hey, well, if he can't pull a string, why can't we pull it for him? Duh.
Yeah, that was that. I love it that the kids don't necessarily see the less ability. It wasn't the adults, you're like, oh, just because the child's in a wheelchair, so they won't be able to do things. And maybe I'm sure they've tried to include him. I'm not saying that, but it's the kids who are open. They don't have any preconceived notions of can't. What I love that.
Yes, it gives great hope. Great hope for the future. We need to continue supporting that creative thought and expression. And I feel like that's another big shift we're going through right now. Revamping education and finding that sitting on your booty for 8 hours a day in a classroom maybe isn't always the best, because creativity comes from, being able to express and tap into those movement based.
Well, my grandson,
it stimulates your nervous system when you're up and moving and out in nature and things like that. So
my grandson he kind of struggles with the traditional classroom. and for all kinds of reasons. And next year, you had the option of going to a technical high school for the last 2 years, and he would love to go there for the automotive track. It's great, and his grades aren't high enough for him to go to the automotive tech center.
Yeah.
But it's like, isn't that like counterintuitive? The child who struggles with the grades needs to have the alternative education style. That was just so weird to me.
It is weird. And back in the day, that was always seen as that's where the dumb kids go. Because my brother struggled with that. My brother hated school. His elementary school experience was horrific, and there's no question as to why he did not enjoy education, because it didn't start out well, and then it just continued to be crappy. So, and he is very crafty. He's very good with his hands, mechanical mind. And, he's one of those guys that would get decent grades in the fourth quarter so he could play football the following year. And then when the season was over, it was like, he's a kid that would cut school to go to work. He wouldn't cut school to go drink and would do whatever in the woods. He would cut school to go to work.
Wow.
So he finally went to my father and said, if you don't let me go to tech, I'm dropping out, because I'm not doing this anymore. And he went to tech, got all A's there, freaking killed it. And it wasn't a struggle to get him to finish school. So, everybody has I do believe there are basics that need to be. Everybody needs a foundation in reading, a foundation in math, kind of things. When we went to school, there was home ec. There was metal shop. There was wood shop. And when budgets get cut, unfortunately, they're the first things that get cut. And these are the things that help us to be independent. And being independent is important, because that's where critical thinking is. When you gather these skills, then you're using your mind, and it's used for critical thinking and creative expression, and it's limitless.
So he's got ADHD. How many kids now have that label, unfortunately? And so he's with a 504, that, slight accommodations. Still, it's hard for him. And there you go. He can't go to the tech.
Yeah. So that's awful. Yeah. Limitations. Okay. We're not going to talk about that.
No, I know. I'm like, this is the good news story.
Things are shifting and evolving.
That's right. Remember that child who's wheelchair bound, sliding down that rope and bouncing just like the other kids. That's the good news.
Yes, that's the good news. All right. All right, moving right along. Attitude is everything. Attitude is everything. Things are shifting, changing, and evolving. That is great. And Janice, what is our weekly affirmation for this week?
This is where I'm at. I want to affirm this, strongly want to affirm this to the best way I can. I am capable of meaningful transformation and worthy of becoming my best self. Each day, I consciously choose growth over comfort and possibility over limitation. My best habits do not define my future potential. My past habits do not define my future potential.
Yes. My past habits do not define my future potential. Amen.
I thought you'd like that one.
I love that. I love that very, very much. Because we always have a choice to create a new, healthier habit, a new, healthier pattern. So, yeah.
And especially I don't want to fail. So I got into some habits of avoiding doing things or not trying things because I was too fat. I'm not going to be able to fit, or I'm not going to be feeling uncomfortable or whatever. All those things,
They're
not. I don't go for walks with people because I don't want them to see how bad a shape I'm in. It's awful. But look at that, because it's changed. And it doesn't have to be my future.
It does not. It does not. Fantastic. I love it. I love it. I consciously choose growth over comfort and possibility over limitations. Yes, because growth is very uncomfortable.
It is. And I think for me, this part of my life, I kind of have a really controlled environment. I am sitting at home working. I don't have to leave the home hardly at all. And you can get really stuck. And I challenge myself. I need to challenge myself to not get stuck in this isolation, kind of not trying anything, which would be so easy to do.
Our little safe bubble. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you are challenging yourself.
I am.
You're doing all kinds of things. It's fantastic. Just what has
I mean,
grown your gratitude videos that you've been doing, you're growing and expanding. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's scary too. But yeah, I mean, it's not that scary now, which is amazing. I can't believe that I do it. This little daily gratitude video and it doesn't scare me. Mm-hmm. But of course, I always like to do better and more. Just because I always want to grow, in theory, and I have this. I come up with an idea of something. Oh, let's try this. Make it more interesting. Mm-hmm. And it's always scary. But that's all. That's the challenge. Is you want to grow and improve, and make things better or different. But you gotta try. You got to get out of that comfort zone.
Yep, growth is uncomfortable.
Yes,
but it is worth it. How many weeks ago were we talking about you just beginning your gratitude videos? And you
I have no idea.
Do it. I don't know if I mean, it's been at least a month, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
And now on TikTok, I have almost 10,000 followers. And that's like, get out of town. Not, they're probably all bots. I'm not saying this because I got a big head. It just took on a life of its own, kind of.
Yes. And don't downplay it. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yes. There are some wonderful people who follow me who actually will say things that they're grateful, because that's what I just say. I say, what are you grateful for today? I say what I'm grateful for. And there are people who answer it. And it's cool.
It's wonderful. And it just keeps growing. Your confidence is growing and growing, and you're putting yourself out there more in different ways. And it's amazing. It's such an honor to watch you grow and blossom. I love it.
Aww.
I love it.
Aw. Thank you. Say thank you. Thank you.
All right. What's our pearl of wisdom for this week? Let's see. Our pearl of wisdom. The way we choose to see the world creates the world we see. The way we choose to see the world creates the world we see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the stories I was just saying, it's exactly, I did, just because I was thinking maybe weight would be a good topic for the stories today, because I was always overweight and I always saw that I couldn't do things. Mm-hmm. You can't do it. You won't fit. You can't do it. And that's what it was for me. I didn't do it. I couldn't do it. I never did it. I created my reality.
Yeah. And when we sit in the limitations, all we're going to see is validation of those limitations.
Yeah.
So when we make that shift to sitting in that space of possibility, then we start to see all the possibilities out there. And that's where, once we see the possibilities, then it was funny, Janice, I was thinking of the titles we've had these past 2 weeks and today, and it could have been a series, because the first one was breaking free of self-doubt, and then it was honoring your inner critic. Because when you start to see the possibilities out there, that's what starts to come up. Okay, I'm seeing the possibilities, but I doubt that I can partake. I doubt that I can do. So that self-doubt comes into play. And then the critic, like, who do you think you are to think you could take advantage of that possibility? So,
if.
Exactly. So we've talked about that inner critic. And now it's about, okay, that fear is there. What are we going to do with it?
Now we've identified that there's a fear there. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it could have been a 3-part series here.
Yeah. This is all your instinct. You're asking, putting it out there, and you amaze me when you come up with these topics. And
Well, thank you.
explore.
Okay, so I feel like this would be a great place for us to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with Pathways to Peace.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Hello. Hello, and welcome back. To be here now, the Peaceful Empowerment Works show. Our topic today is transforming fear into courage. Which
Yeah.
will then
Which the fear of playing the drum on the show has been a big one. So there you go.
Right through.
Yeah, we're gonna try to make it fit though. I'm not quite there yet, but
We're exploring and experimenting always.
that's right. That's right.
All right. So transforming fear into courage. The first thing you have to do, or we recommend doing, because this is what we've gone through, is you got to understand the fear. Understanding your fear. Fear shows up. When does fear show up in your life? And when we push outside our comfort zone, like Janice and I were just talking about, it's uncomfortable. When there's a risk of vulnerability, putting ourselves out there where we could be judged by other people, not just ourselves. When we're facing the unknown, moving forward, we don't know what's happening. We don't really know what's headed our way because we would like new things. We don't want to repeat patterns of the past. So we're moving into that unknown space. And if physical or emotional safety is at risk. Now, that's why I always it's not like we're getting rid of fear. Fear has a purpose. It serves a purpose. And if I am being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, I'm going to be afraid.
Hope so.
You know, if you're in an experience and in a situation where even if somebody is verbally, verbal attack is a lot of times just as harmful, if not more harmful, than a physical attack. So that fear sets in for a purpose. If you're being verbally attacked and you're feeling scared, that means get the hell out of there. Stop that conversation. Remove yourself. So fear serves a purpose.
Yeah. When we came up with this topic, and I was thinking, I always try to think ahead of okay, what are my fears? Initially, I was like, because I'm in my nice little cozy cocoon here. Oh, my fears, I don't have many fears anymore. Then I thought about it. And I'm happy to say a lot of things I have been able to face and overcome. But still, I think the best example when I think of fear is because if being overweight, growing up overweight. You have the fear of not being able to fit and the physical limitations, but there's also the emotional, where people are going to make fun of me, or they're going to you're going to drive by, walking down the street, you'd have people drive by and go moo, and so on. That kind of stuff you've had all the time. So that fear ends up with you, you're never free from it.
No.
So that was you're risky. Of course, you're vulnerable. You're getting rejected. You're getting made fun of. And I never understood. I still don't exactly to this day why. Well, we could have a whole session on this, but why you don't change it? If you're so uncomfortable and you live in yourself and you're so uncomfortable, that why don't you follow the diet? Why do you just do it for a day and then you freak out? But what happens is you're overweight and you have all these things, And the food for me is my comfort. And that was what I had for comfort. And the thought of all of a sudden not being able to comfort myself was unbearable. I needed that, so that's, again, the fear of not having that comfort, giving myself that was the way I knew. And it's just that fear. It was all about fear. And to be able to, that just one issue in my life, to overcome those things, that's huge. Never mind all the rest of the stuff that we have to deal with.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, do you find yourself still carrying that fear?
A little, not too much. I mean, for my highest weight, I'm like 150 pounds lighter. So, you can't exist 150 pounds heavier than me and not feel it all the time. Well, I believe I couldn't. And now, I don't think I changed the fact that I need to comfort myself with food. I think and that fear's still there. I need to be like, I have to find ways. My goal is to find ways that I can eat healthy and comfort myself at the same time. So that's never gone away.
Okay.
But I don't, especially since I'm older, I have the belief that you can be older and be heavier and people don't make fun of you and they're more accepting of you than if you're young, when you're in the teens till, I don't know, 40, 30, when the dating scene and all that. Yeah, that would, yeah. So I don't feel so paranoid about that.
Okay. Well, that's good. And you haven't allowed the fear of people making fun of you or judgment. I mean, you've lost 150 pounds. So you've done something to address and heal a lot of those old outdated beliefs.
I'm one of those people who did the gastric bypass, and that's when I lost the first 70. And then I did well, I'm a diabetic, so I went on Trulicity, which helped lose weight. And, so I don't believe that I did it. I believe that I did do it. I physically did it, but
there's a lot of people out there that have had the gastric bypass and then gain all the weight back and more. So the fact that you've been able to not only keep off the 70, you've lost more, and it may have been medication assisted, but you're still making choices. What did you say? It's not that you still don't go to food for comfort. You're choosing healthier options. A lot of the work that we do isn't about trashing the person that we were. It's about honoring that person, because that person with all those limitations and all the challenges got us to who we are today.
Yeah. And I think one of the things I had to do, and talk about my shutting down issue, is how can you actually be productive in life when you're feeling like you're disgusting, because of your body. How you do it is you shut it out. I was never present in my body. I tried to compensate with the personality, with giving and pleasing. And so, that's, I could never look at it, and I don't look at my body. I had to shut down because I couldn't be productive or successful at all if I lived in that feeling. So totally had to shut that one out.
That was your survival technique.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, the more shame we feel for how our body looks, the less we want to be seen. But the more we eat and the bigger we get.
I know.
Yeah. So it's really a mind fuck.
Yeah, it is. And I would imagine, like if I was at a social gathering, like I was invisible. And I would just like be in a corner, I'm invisible. And I actually kind of like weaving through people, because I'm short, maybe, I could do it and feel like people didn't see me. But it's a whole, what you believe is, and the fear, that I lived in that constant fear. And that's one of the things I thought about when we were having this for a topic. And I said, but fear has been a big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of whatever. And it's still part of it, but it's not the leader. It's not the leader of the person anymore. And
Absolutely.
it's exciting to overcome some of that, even like with this TikTok video thing. Well, it's Facebook and TikTok and actually Instagram, because if it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. And yeah, it's fear. Fear has stopped me so much, and it's so exciting to get that courage and actually try something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In summary,
In summary, you're doing it. You, our viewing public, has been able to watch you over the weeks transform your fear into courage. Living example. There you are, Janice, putting it out there.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to try to see if I could make money through TikTok, and then that was very fearful. And it doesn't. Yes, but it's like you're an onion. You take off one layer and you still try another one, but I dared to try. So I mean, that's where I'm at. I dared to try to do it, and that was.
I love it, and that leads right to the next thing: the power of courage. Yeah. That's the power of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but acting in spite of it. And that's what you're doing. That's what we're doing. Courage empowers us to take chances, face challenges, trust our inner voice and guidance, move through the fear to take the action. And, every week when we show up, Janice, this is what we're doing.
Yep.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're, our hope is to help other people see that it can be done.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be perfect and polished. It just needs to be real. And I don't think it's much more real than us, Janice.
No. That's for sure. In a good way.
Exactly. So, okay, great. So we understand why fear shows up. We understand the power of courage. In transforming it, where the heck do we start? Where do we even start? And the very first thing is awareness is key. You have to acknowledge the fear. You have to acknowledge the fear. In the past, we would ignore it. We would suppress it. We would just not do. There are a lot of things that I didn't try because I was afraid of failure. And that made my world, my skill set very small. Because if you don't push outside that comfort zone and experience new things, how do you learn new things? So you have to be aware of the things of that fear instead of ignoring it, suppressing it, telling it to shut up and sit in a corner. Address it, acknowledge it. Just like we honored the inner critic, you have to honor the fear because it's trying to tell you something.
All those years of having anxiety attacks or these things happen to me, and I never stopped to think about, oh, that's fear. What's going? No, it's just like, okay, anxiety attack. Oh my gosh,
Exactly. You keep spinning. You get more and more worked up and pulled down into that emotion. Yeah. Whereas if we can remember to breathe and acknowledge it. Okay, what is this I'm feeling? Oh, it's fear. And then you ask yourself, what are you afraid of? What is it I'm afraid of right now? And then, because your fear is trying to tell you something. So ask your fear what it's trying to tell you. What am I afraid of? What are you trying to tell me? And ask your fear if it's valid for the current experience that you're having, or is it old and outdated?
That's a good question. Like if it's a work thing, I want to think this through with you. If it was a work thing, I'd be like, oh my gosh, since I wasn't perfect, oh no, they're gonna fire me, or I'm gonna lose my job or something. And I get that, oh my God, feeling. But the fear is losing my job, losing my livelihood, and financial ruin. So is that as an example? What that is it real? At the time, yeah.
How
do we deal with that?
Okay, so if it's a valid fear, and now it's funny, Janice, because what I'm hearing is it a fear or is it a worry?
I don't know.
Exactly. And of course, I'm asking what's the difference between fear and worry. Worry, we always think about and attach with, if you're going to worry about it, is it something you can control or you can't control? A fear, you're being alerted to danger. There's something here. There is something to be concerned about. A worry is, okay, I'm worried about this. What can I control in this experience? What can't I control in this experience? So you had a fear of losing your job or because you didn't perform well. Okay. So do you truly believe you didn't perform well? That's where you start asking the questions. Did I screw up? Did I take responsibility for the work I've done? And is this a fireable offense?
I mean, at the time, I believed it was.
Okay.
It's not, I mean, obviously it's not now.
Right.
And I realized that, but I couldn't, I don't think I could
break
at
yourself
that
from-
time.
Right.
No.
Well, you didn't have the tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it is understanding the tools that go along with it. And that fear over something that you can't control. When we have, I'm just hearing this now, when we have a person of authority above us, we do have a conscious and unconscious understanding that we can't control them. And if there's somebody that is not consistent and makes decisions based in their roller coaster emotional state, then we don't have a comfortable state of stability with them.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then it's like, yes, it doesn't matter if it's a valid complaint or a valid reason or not. This hothead's going to come in here, and because they're having a bad day, I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah. And I think at the time I did know enough to think about that, you know, I had issues with authority issues, you know, rejection, whatever. So I think I was able to at the time to be aware of that, of my fear of authority figures, and worked on it, that side of it.
Okay. That's great. I mean, I had a principal. We would literally say, I wonder who's his target today.
Oh.
Because depending on his mood, he's going to come at you, and he's coming at you hard. So you literally work walking on eggshells all the time, trying to be as small and invisible as possible, because you don't want to draw attention from that authority figure. And that's no place. That's no way to live. That's absolutely no way to live. Yes. So once we do all those things and have that conversation with fear, asking the questions, trying to find out what it's trying to tell us and things like that, then we go to rewrite your story. Rewrite your story. Reframe the fear as an opportunity for growth. I can't. I have this other job where it's working with math and numbers, and I do payroll. And my immediate thing was, I don't know how to do payroll. I'm not an accountant. I can't do this. And when I took the approach of, okay, I'm willing to learn new things. And because I'm learning new things, it's a learning process, and failure isn't even on the table. Because I'm walking into this, and the people that I'm working for know that I have absolutely zero experience in this field. They said they're willing to teach me. So I had to keep telling myself, it isn't failure, it's learning. It isn't failure, it's learning. It isn't failure, it's learning. Repeatedly, so that I could keep my inner critic at bay. I had to rewrite that story that I can't. Oh, I can't do Excel spreadsheets. Well, yeah, I can. I'm willing to learn. You know, that's why remove the word can't from your vocabulary. Because if you're willing to try, if you're open to learning, then even if it isn't the perfect outcome, which we addressed the word perfect before, if it isn't that perfect outcome that you're holding, you still made the attempt. And you always learn something from the experience.
I find that rewriting your story thing, it just seems so powerful. And I mean, like this show, coming to this show a year ago. A year before that, I would never have imagined doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I've had to rewrite my story because the me who was scared felt I was, worthless or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that anymore. Well, I mean,
Really?
I have my moments, but I don't. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but no one's perfect. But now it's like my story is I am not afraid to be vulnerable in sharing my story with the world. I don't know. That's a little big word, but
Right.
but that when you rewrite the story and you're able to say that, that's very empowering.
Mm-hmm. Extremely.
Mm.
Yeah. And then courage comes from taking action. Take small steps, manageable steps. Allow yourself the space to explore and experiment. When we can shift our mind to exploring and experimenting and take failure off the table, I know that was one of the biggest clubs that I would beat myself with, the fear of failure. And once I was able to remove that, yes, there's still things that scare me, but I take those small steps forward.
Mm.
And back in the day, the fear would be there and it'd be like all or nothing. All or nothing. Dieting was like, I'd throw away all the junk food in the freaking kitchen. And
Yep.
very strict and regimented, but I didn't want to live a life like that. So I could never be disciplined enough to stick to it. So taking those small steps, making those little adjustments in my morning routine and things like that, that's what helps me keep moving forward. And I'm going to explore. Whereas before, I'm going to do this workout plan. And when I didn't do it or it didn't fit me right, I would beat myself up for it. What's wrong with you? You piece of crap. Blah, blah, blah. Understanding that I get to explore and experiment to find what is right and perfect for me. Not what Jillian Michaels is trying to tell me or any of those other workout people. Jillian Michaels, it ages me. Yes, she was my thing.
Well, I used to have Jane Fonda, so there you go.
I have a Jane Fonda video around here somewhere.
No, actually, honestly, my very favorite one is, oh my gosh, what's the name of the short guy with the frizzy hair who did the exercises? Oh my God, he passed away recently.
Richard Simmons.
What? Richard, yeah, sorry.
Richard
I had
Simmons.
all the Richard Simmons.
Yes. Dancing to the oldies.
Because yeah, he did it, and he did it with heavy people who are also exercising. So I felt like, hey, he gets me, and he was bigger and lost weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved him.
Yes. And as we move through all this, be kind and gentle with yourself. It's not like all of a sudden I'm going to make all my fears courage. I'm going to turn them all into courage. You're going through a process. So when those old fears come up, it's not about being, hey, you big dummy, why are you still holding on to that fear? No, be kind and respectful to yourself. Okay.
Well, I know, like this. It's interesting because with my daily gratitude thing, almost daily, I want to switch it up a little. And I was thinking, why don't I take from the show, like the affirmation and the pearls of wisdom, and on like Tuesday and Thursday, then I can refer them to the show and do that. Well, it's overwhelming to be able to do technically that. And so I got it down to right now. I haven't done it yet. Well, I started to, but I got that. I'm going to watch a video. That's all I have. It's right now. I'm going to go and try to find a video on how to use CapCut and see if I can figure it out. But no, I'm not like going to do it all by tomorrow. Nothing. So that, and then that small manageable steps, then I can experiment and exactly how that works. And I try not to beat myself up. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And even if the beating does start a little bit, you would see what's going on.
Yeah.
We can catch the beatings faster. We don't hard and as long as we once used to beat ourselves up. So, that's where the being kind and gentle, when you realize you're doing it, because I'll catch myself falling into that whole regiment, and if you don't do it, you're a loser, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, whoa. No, we don't do that anymore. I've learned to talk to myself and my heart in the same manner in which I speak to my daughter. And that was a big thing for me. when I could speak kindly to myself and to all those younger versions of me.
Yeah.
The big example I had was how I spoke to my daughter. So speaking to those versions of my inner child in that manner has really helped me. Again, it hasn't stopped it. It all still rages from time to time, but we work together. We work together more than we don't. Let's put it that way.
Can you believe we're already at 45?
We are at 45 and we got to wrap it up.
Yes.
So
Oh my gosh. Thank you,
even-
everybody.
Yeah. I'll post that. We don't even need to talk about them. Okay. We want to thank everybody for choosing to be here now with us. Please always remember,
You're not alone.
and don't ever forget, you are awesome. We'll see you next
Thanks
time.
so much. Thanks so much for being here and sharing our stories and time. Bye.
Thank you.